Now let's begin. So the lines I've created here are the shoulder line, this is the chest line, the bust point, the under bust, the front waistline, that is the waistline, and then the top length or the hip depth or the hip line, depends on whatever you want to call it. Now I have this part as the center front and this part as the side front. Then I went ahead to create my armhole and neckline, which is just the basic and regular armhole and neckline. Now from the chest line down to the entire length of the top, I put in my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then from this line here on the waistline, I came in by 0.5 and then I came out by 1.5 towards the side front. So I did the same thing for the under bust, then I drew out a straight line. Then I went ahead to form a curve from the under bust to the bust points. Now I connected with a straight line from my waistline down to the length of the top. Now on the shoulder slant here, I divided into 2, then I marked that point and drew out a straight line to meet the bust point. Then on the neckline here, I measured out how deep I want the neck to be, and on the armhole, I did the same thing and measured out how deep I want the armhole to go. Then I connected with a curve. Now on this part here, I took in 0.75 on both sides, and the reason why I did this is to prevent gaping on the neckline area, so that by the time you wear the top, you're not going to have excess on the neckline area. So I connected that into the bust points. Now I already have my busts divided by 4 here. Then I went ahead to put in whatever I have here to replace it back into the busts. Then I measured my waistline divided by 4, and I also inputted whatever I had there and replaced it into the waistline. Then on the hip line, that is the top length here, I put in my hip measurements divided by 4, and I also marked that point, then connected the points together. Now I'm going to introduce a side dart because I have a difference between my front and the back waistline measurement. So the difference for mine I have is 2 inches, which is why you have to take a very accurate measurement for yourself, because most times these things differ for a lot of people and it is very important. So the 2 inches here, I'm going to mark it on the bust point and I'll connect it into this point here. So this part here are going to be cut off from my pattern paper. So before cutting out fully, I'll do a few things. I'm going to close up the side dart, then I'm also going to make sure that my neckline aligns together by the time I cut out the dart for that part too. So you can watch how I'm cutting out the side dart. I'm just going to cut all the way to the bust point a little bit, and I'll use my paper tape to just cover that up, and I'll draw out a new line for it. Then for this part here, since my top is not going to have sleeves, I'm just going to connect from this neckline here, from the armhole area here down to the chest line, as you can see me doing. And then for the neckline, I'm just going to fold in this dart that I have here and make sure that my curve connects together well, because by the time I cut out this dart now, you will see that you won't have equal neckline area anymore. So that's what I'm just doing here to rectify before cutting out. Then I'll go ahead to cut out what I have, and that is it for the front pattern of a bustier. If you're going to be making a bustier top like this one, this is how it should